Welcome back to SWS Motorsports, where we bring boost back to hot rodding. Oh, sorry, you guys weren't supposed to see that yet. I filmed this and edited it out of order, so my bad. But today we're going to tackle the small block Ford setup. We're going to take you guys all the way from the raw castings up to getting it on the engine as you see here now. It goes through everything from machining and running to the junkyard and getting the rest of the serpentine drive and getting our first intercoolers back. You guys are going to want to stick around to the end because we have some big news that a lot of you guys have been waiting on. Our intercoolers, the pre-order is finally going live and you're not going to want to miss it. And here are the castings for the intercooler end tanks. So, got to get the mill power feeding, that way I'm not sitting there cranking them by hand. But we got a jig that'll hold like 8 of these at a time or so, and we can process those pretty quickly. These are our earliest castings. This will fit the small block Ford platform. We have a ton of intakes. I'll show you those real quick. Shelf's a little messy, but we have the Honda J Series here, the 3-liter Ford Ranger manifold here, the Edelbrock pattern for the 302 and 351, the truck lower for 302 and 351, and the GT40 will be shown here in just a minute in the video. It'll be pretty quick thanks to movie magic, but it'll be a little bit for me and Greg. Alright, so we do have a functional power feed, and that is the turbo button. So I got a little safety sticker for that one. There we go. I like that it's red. What happens if you push it when it's not moving?
Absolutely.
Somebody wired this thing in backwards, so you have to flip her on to reverse for it to spin the right way. Now, we should probably look up the feeds and speeds for this. We definitely need some good old WD-40 on there. It's the best cutting fluid there is for aluminum, allegedly. Smells good though. Oh, it's touching.
Well, I'm just gonna go that way. Get rid of the turbo. See if we're gonna hit the table over there.
Oh, we're getting close. Let me check over here.
It's getting close.
Well, this is gonna need to be shortened up. Hey, it doesn't hit. There is enough for me to crush my fingers, but that's about it. Cool.
I'm not saying it's perfectly flat, but if it was this far off.
Oh, dude, it's removing some material.
I know.
I'll shut it off. Oh no, it was still running.
Oh, it was spinning the belt, slipping the belt?
Yeah, too much load.
Ow!
Oh dude, look how deep that cut is.
I know. Oh, it dropped. See, it was cut deeper. It started pulling it in.
Oh, that is not what you want.
Well, that's why we decided to use, why I decided to use this. Because though we spent money on that, it kind of doesn't matter anymore because we have castings.
We got the manifold casting up here, and
see if we can fuck some shit up.
Hell yeah! This guy, what I did on this one.
I saw what you did. I didn't like it.
Thought it'd be more stable, unlike my axe.
Which one?
Fuck! Call me out, why don't you? I will man the vacuum because this thing's angry with its chip flinging.
Keep in mind, this is definitely a hobbyist level of figuring shit out.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Just because we got a nice machine.
Oh, yeah, we have no idea what we're doing.
Stacy, most of all.
Yeah, especially me.
I have an idea, but it don't mean I know enough to do it right.
I don't know if you caught that, but earlier when you asked out the bits. I was like, no, you're the only one who's ever changed it. I just use what's in there. Ah! So, Greg, yeah. Processing the first one by hand because, yeah, I mean, we do have a nice mill that we could check this thing up in, but it's a huge pain in the butt to change out bits on it. It does look like every single blower that we have that fits the LS will absolutely fit the small block Ford setup on this as well, so that's pretty sweet. Greg's going to use the little automated tapping arm, which honestly, this is probably one of the coolest tools I've ever bought in my life. Let's let her rip. We got Greg's motor out and mostly kind of sort of put together. It's not finished yet, but every single one of our supercharger kits for the LS will absolutely work on the small block Ford. That helps us keep costs low and make stuff available for you guys. Now this is the LS throttle body on here. If you guys want to run an LS throttle body on a Ford, you can. You just have to wire up your TPS and idle air control valves correctly, which honestly is not that big of a deal. But if you're running a stock Ford PCM, you don't have to run our throttle body adapter. You can just run the stock Ford throttle body, which should be electrically compatible with whatever you guys are wanting to run. We thought we had an alternator for this, but it turns out it's for an Escape, not an Explorer. 2 of the 3 bolts line up, but it's not going to work anyway, so we got to get a new alternator. Kitties. Guys, I am trying to film. I don't need little crunchy plastic paper noises. Sorry, you guys are just gonna have to deal with listening to the cats. I guess we go to the junkyard now. I'll probably be doing that tomorrow or day after and pulling off an accessory drive. Let's get it.
Gotta clean the lens off. Gotta clean.
We are in now to get a super janky wheelbarrow thing and to go find some parts. We are going to go out here and hopefully snag the parts to finish the small block Ford blower adapter kit, and since I'm here, you know, see if there's any extra junkyard blowers I can pick up to rebuild. And if there's a blower I don't have a kit for, we're gonna make a kit for it. Oh, Ford fucking Ranger. I know that truck. I ain't no stranger. Okay, here's an old V8. This is what we're looking for. Finally. Oh, you. Okay, that is a 302 valve cover gasket. This is our guy. It has a motor in it. Allegedly. Okay. It has most of a motor in it. But frankly, lack of a motor is okay by my standards, because we don't need all of it. We just need some of it. There she is. We just got to pull some brackets off. This is safe. This looks like it has at least most of the stuff. That's gonna be a problem. I don't think I have the tools with me to take the fan off. Oh, shit. Alright. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Get yourself one of these tool rolls if you're going to the junkyard. It's awesome. I actually added the buckles to that one. But no, I definitely do not have the tools to take the fan off, which I should have thought of that. I can beat it with a hammer. Oh, haha. Okay. This is what I need to take off, but it looks like that's mostly done for me. That's hilarious. We're gonna have to make custom power steering lines for our setup anyway, so does it really matter that I'm taking this off? This is gonna sound like, oh, that's just internet stuff. Real life doesn't happen that way. You guys would be amazed at how many times I've come to the junkyard to try to find a part, only to find the part that I need is already partially disassembled, or even fully disassembled. Hell, Greg and I used to have a 3-liter Ford Ranger that we bought not running to fix and sell, and we thought it had a blown head gasket. Turns out the intake manifold had just rotted out from coolant galvanic corrosion. We still have that manifold, and that's what we're going to be using for our 3-liter Ranger blower kits. But we came out to the junkyard to find one, and there was one already pulled, and the only thing we had to do was remove one bolt on the fuel rail and pull the fuel rail off, and we were done. Just got really lucky. So Greg and I were actually unsure of whether or not we should pull the air compressor from the junkyard, but this thing just looks like absolute hot garbage. So we're gonna order a new air compressor. This thing looks atrocious. And I am too lazy to go find another Ford Explorer that has a cleaner air compressor. So looks like I'm just gonna buy one. I've had a lot of people ask me, why don't you be a mechanic? Well, the truth is, I absolutely hate getting greasy and dirty. I mean, I will for special occasions or doing fun stuff with race cars, but I just don't like mechanic work. Anybody who's worked on their own cars as a hobby versus doing it for a living, very different. I usually wear latex gloves because my aversion to dirt and grease, I guess it's more of an aversion to grease. Left the house at 5 a.m. this morning and, you know, forgot because poor planning. Okay, this has gotta move. Okay, come on now. What is this thing hanging on? Ta-da! Crusty. Extra crusty. Again, I do think I'm going to pull off this AC compressor. Well, you know what? The smart move is to actually look inside the lines. If it can be cleaned and it's just dirty from oil leaks, that's fine. Aw, power steering reservoir is broken. Or I can look around the junkyard and see if there's another one. I am a little saddened by the lack of bolts. I've got a feeling these were them, but these are way too crusty to use. Because while we have the bracket now, we don't have the hardware to attach it to the engine either. I'll get this stripped down and see you guys in a bit. Yeet! We got one of our parts that we need. And now I gotta go wash my hands because this is unacceptable. Serious note, guys, don't forget your gloves. Do as I say, not as I do. We got one more vehicle to check out. I haven't told you guys what it is, but if it's here, you guys are gonna love this. Oh, look at BMW. Nope, don't want anything to do with that Euro trash. Okay, I think I found it. I'm not sure if the engine's still in. Okay, so I thought I saw it. I was wrong. Went a little further down. It's here, boys. This is going to be sweet, unless I looked at this and I was wrong and this is actually a V6. This is what we're here for. And that will make some horsepower. Sorry, camera died. Well, I guess technically it overheated, but I had to come back for a second day, so ignore the outfit change. And the real reason I came here is for this. Sorry you guys missed me pulling it, but this is a 1.9 liter TVS off of a Land Rover, Range Rover. They also have them on Jaguar F-Types and a couple other vehicles. But this supercharger actually has the same rotor pack as the LSA superchargers on the CTS-Vs. What that means is you can get a Junkyard blower that'll support 800 wheel horsepower. That supercharger is actually the entire reason I launched SWS Motorsports. I wanted to build a kit to make budget, high horsepower boost available for everybody. But don't worry, there's another one here that I'm leaving for somebody else to grab. We're gonna put this guy on my Astro van. I already have a couple of these, but I want to rebuild some, do some porting. Oh, for these guys, I already have the kits fully developed and finished. The only thing I haven't done is write an instruction sheet, but I've been waiting to launch those until the intercoolers are ready. But as you guys probably already know, intercoolers are more or less where they need to be. So the intercooler order stuff is up live now. So if you guys haven't got your intercoolers, place that order, guys. Let's make some boost. I'm at the machine shop picking up the first intercooler. Check. So we're over here pressure testing this guy, and yeah, all laser welded. Got a couple of spots to touch up, but this is pretty awesome, guys. Okay, guys, so we are back in the shop with our 347 stroker. We got all the parts from the junkyard cleaned up and put on here. I still need to powder coat this one black so that it looks a little bit better, and hell, this whole thing needs to be cleaned. But we are finally getting ready to put our castings on. So this is our first casting. It's all machined top and bottom, but blank. So we have to figure out exactly how to get this pattern put on here. Now, fortunately, I do have all the CAD files for this engine, so it's not really that big of a deal. However, we're going to show you another way that you can transfer this information straight to this with relative ease and not a whole lot of cost, which is kind of our whole goal here. Now, we will be selling these manifolds blank for anybody who's brave enough to try this at home with a different engine that this system will support. We also have a wider one of these on the way that'll be almost the full width. So that'll work on 1UZ and Jeep V6s as well. And we do plan on coming out with those kits, but anybody who wants to help with R&D, hit me up. First and foremost, let's get a blower put on here. We've got a couple simple problems that we have to solve here. Serpentine belt alignment, or transferring the port pattern from our lower manifold to the upper manifold. I actually have this little tool that I've developed. It is a laser serpentine belt alignment tool. These little bolts on the side here are so that you can fine tune where the laser is pointed. And it's all magnetic. The further apart your two pulleys are that you're using as your reference, the better. Let me put some batteries in this thing and show you how it works. Groove from the back, third groove from the back, down there, third groove, and now just to verify this thing is centered, I'm going to take this guy off and flip it around. Give her a little tap to make sure it's seated, and bingo. If this is on the third groove on this pulley, your bolt orientations, it is good to go. Now we are just a tiny bit off. This does not solve the issue of transferring the port shape onto the new manifold. So let me show you how we're going to do that. This is a tool set called a transfer punch set. Basically, it's just little bolts that are threaded, but it gives us these nice sharp points in the dead center of our bolt holes. So we can set our manifold back up here, get the belt aligned, and then with a little bit of percussive maintenance, we can mark the manifold. This is an aluminum pulley, but the hub itself is steel, and the magnet is strong enough to stick onto the aluminum, stick onto the steel underneath the aluminum. I did not expect that. So this should be pretty square now. All right, so now you're going to take a rubber mallet and you're going to commit. Oh, nervous. Now in theory, this will have left a pretty solid indentation underneath at the work we've done, and hope it left a decent indentation. And from there, I'm not sure how well we'll be able to see it in the lighting, but it gives us this nice, neat center punch, which is perfect for drilling through. Now, before drilling these holes, I am going to make sure that the distance between here and here is identical on all of it, just so it's nice and square. And again, the production version of these are all going to be CNC machined, but I'm just showing you guys how you don't have to have a bunch of fancy machinery to make some custom stuff, especially when I'm going to be providing something like this for anybody who's brave enough to try it. And from this point, you drill your holes the correct size for whatever size bolt you're wanting to run. We have a gasket, which, conveniently enough, if you line up perfectly, if you can't figure out how to make this fit that from this point, you probably shouldn't be working on your own car. All right, well, I guess I can bring out the other blowers. All right, so that's a little bit better. These two superchargers I'm actually super excited about because they are readily available and support a pretty decent amount of power, and most importantly, they're cheap. This is the M112 off of the 98 to 08 Range Rovers. It's the exact same rotor pack as the 03 to 04 Mustang Cobra, and you can pick this blower up at Junkyards pretty readily for under $200. These guys are dirt cheap, and if you port them, they will actually support close to 600 wheel horsepower on the right setup, and they're cheap. But this guy is the one I'm most excited about. This is a 1.9 liter TVS off of a Range Rover or Jaguar, and they sold these guys all the way from 2010 up until 2024, so they're recent, and they're Jags and Range Rover, so you know they're going to be in the junkyard pretty quickly and pretty regularly. This is actually the same rotor pack as the LSA or Cadillac CTSVs, and on the right setup, they can support over 800 wheel horsepower. I've had this kit developed and available for a long time, but I've been waiting until the intercoolers are ready to launch them because this is a big enough blower that it really, really needs an intercooler. And these kits will go live next week. At this point, all the kinks and issues have been finally worked out with our intercoolers, and I'm pretty excited that I can say that these are the only intercoolers that are 100% made in the USA. Doing that has kind of made things a little slower in some regards and made things a little more expensive than I originally hoped for. However, we're still going to be very, very reasonable on the price. $750 for the small one, $850 for the large one. And I guess it's time to announce the pre-order for the intercoolers. Anybody who already has one of our supercharger kits or has bought one up until the time of the pre-order, they're going to get an email on Wednesday of this week with a special discount code so that they can get a pretty decent amount off of the intercooler since they were my early supporters. And that'll be live on Friday at 5 p.m. for everybody. So we're only doing 40, so that's 20 of each. I do expect these things to sell out relatively quickly. So if you want one, jump on it as soon as you can. For my early supporters, if you miss the first batch, don't worry. I'm setting aside a few extra aside from that 40 specifically to make sure my earliest supporters all get an intercooler if they want one. But otherwise, 40 of each is all that's getting made on this first batch because frankly, it's pretty expensive to get these custom castings done, and I can only invest so much of my own money into that. After the pre-order fully sells out is when the order will go in to the foundry to get all the custom castings made. We have our prototypes, everything works, so we're happy about that. And that process will take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. So that is the slowest process of the entire thing. And after that, it'll take us probably a week or two to get them all welded together and final machined for you guys. If we're able to get it done faster than that time frame, that'll be awesome. But you guys need to know that is about how long it will take to get these out the door and shipped to you. When I say we, I need to mention that everything here is 100% American made, and I outsourced 100% of the manufacturing to American manufacturers and machine shops. It's a huge effort. In these videos, it's mostly me, Greg, Dylan, and a couple other buddies occasionally show up. So we are a really small, like, this is just my garage, guys. But we are going to do everything we can to get you guys Boost on a budget. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. It means a lot. If you guys would like to support what we're trying to do here, it would mean the world to me if you could subscribe to the channel, like or share, comment, any of that. It helps tremendously with the algorithm. You guys are awesome. Let's make some Boost.